Hello, stamping friends. It is May 2nd. I'm so excited. Our new Stampin' Up! Catalog is released today. So today I have a project for you using a new stamp set from our new catalog and a couple other things to talk to you about. So today we're just going to use stamps, ink, and paper. So let's turn the camera down, but before I do that, welcome. I'm Terri Hartley, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm in my studio at Rustic Barn Cards. Okay, let's get stamping. All right, well, today we can actually open our annual catalog, our May 2023 to April 2024 Stampin' Up! Catalog. Today is the day, and I hope that all of you have a copy of the catalog. If not, reach out to me in the contact. Today, I'm just going to show you on page 52 the stamp set that we're going to use, and that is Little Monkey. So on page 52, and the stamp set, and then there is a punch that goes with it. We're going to use both of those. And notice on the stamp set, you have one of the images that is brighter than the rest of the images. That shows you then that the punch cuts out this monkey, and then the banana is also a little bit shaded differently. And the punch also punches out the banana, and it also punches out the heart. So this is the monkey of the three that the punch cuts out, although it's really easy to cut out any of the other two monkeys. So we have a branch, some leaves, sentiments, just swinging by to say hi, a banana's about you, little monkey, have some leaves, two different kind of bananas, one where the peeling is pulled back and one's not. You have a little face and some more leaves, and of course that heart. So that is what we're going to do today. But before we start on that, and I'm going to be using mostly stamps, inks, and paper, although I'm going to throw in some embellishments, of course, and an embossing folder. And then I'm going to show you a card using our masking paper, and then another card without, so you can see the difference and see which that you would prefer. But before I do that, a couple of things that I have going on, or will be really soon, is that I'm going to have an annual catalog kickoff celebration. So mark your calendars for May 15th through the 18th. I'm going to be live each of those 4 days at 1 p.m. Central. I will be live on Facebook or YouTube at Rustic Barn Cards. So, again, it'll be 4 days, and it's free for everyone to watch, and we'll talk more about that as the time gets closer. And then I am part of the online global group, and we are going to have our online global retreat July 20th and 21st. And again, I'm working with demonstrators from Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. So we will be sharing more information very soon. So here is our stamp set, and this is photopolymer. And I am going to be using one of the embossing folders from our Basics 3D. And this is the one I'm going to use, more like the subtle that we used to have. And here are the other two. So this is a pack of 3. For our card today, you're going to need a basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then you just need a layer of basic white and a scrap of basic white. So again, our card is going to be quick and simple. Stamps, ink, and paper. We'll lay our card base aside, and we're going to do our stamping on our layer, and this is our basic white layer. It's 5 1/4 by 4. Now we will want to do all of our stamping first, and then we will use our embossing folder. So we're going to be using 2 inks today, our black and one of our new in colors, boho blue. Let me show you the card we're going to make. So here is the card that we're going to make. And I don't know if there's blue monkeys or not, but I wanted to try one of our new in colors. So I'm going to stamp our monkey first, and we're going to stamp the one that we will not use the punch for. And then I am just going to kind of slant it a little bit to the left. Just like that. Then we're going to be using masking paper. So these are 5 by 7, and I believe there's like 12 sheets in here. Anyway, I know that they are 5 by 7. I'm not sure exactly how many sheets, but now you do not need to use the masking paper, and I will show you the difference. So the masking paper has 2 sides, and there is a divider, so like in the middle, it folds and it peels off like this. And then I have a piece right here. And you see I've already done some stamping on this. So there's 2 sides. So how do you know? Because you see I stamped on here, and then I stamped on this side. Well, one side is a little bit brighter than the other. So you want to stamp on the brighter side. And how I know this, because when I stamped, it kind of made it kind of blurry. And if I peel this off, then this is not sticky. And I want this to be sticky. And this is the sticky side. So you're going to stamp on the one that is a little bit brighter. Okay, so I'm going to bring my monkey stamp back in. And I actually don't need to stamp all of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just stamp that bottom part, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. So I have one already cut out, so I'm just going to bring this in, use my take your pick tool, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to lay this right, because we're going to stamp that branch. Now if you don't care if the branch, if the tail goes over the branch, then you don't have to do this step. And I will show you one that I did without the masking. But right now we're going to use the masking. So I'm going to bring in our tree branch. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And then I'm going to place this. So his tail is on the branch. And about like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and ink part of this branch up again. And I'm just going to go ahead and, so it looks like there's 2 branches there. Okay. And I'm not quite, let me go ahead and bring in our scrap of basic white. And we'll go ahead, we have the black out, and we will stamp our banana. Now I want to bring this punch in, because you always want to look and notice how your images are in your punch. So I'm going to punch it the same way. So, I mean, I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it so I can punch it out easy. So here I'm just going to go ahead and put that right there. And now I'm finished with our black ink. Now let's go ahead and take off our masking of our little monkey. So that just peels right off. And if you're careful, you can use this to make another card. That looks like part of his tail wanted to stick there. Okay, so here we have, and the tail goes over, and the, so the branch doesn't go through the tail is what I'm trying to say. Let's go ahead and do a little coloring. So you're going to, or what I used was dark and light oud olive, ivory, boho blue, dark crumb cake for the branch, and then for a banana, daffodil delight. And I'm going to go ahead and color this. If you don't want to see me color, then you can most definitely go ahead and just speed through this. But I'm going to use ivory and color inside of his ears. And I'm just going to do his face with ivory. I'm not going to color the nose any different, or the lips. And then I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to do the leaves next. So I'm going to use the dark oud olive and just shade in. There's already lines for you on these leaves. So I'm doing that with the dark. And then I'm going to come back with the light. And of course, you could use any color. You could use markers. I mean, you could use your markers. I'm using Stampin' Blends. And you could always go back and make them some of them a little lighter, some of them a little darker. Then we're going to use the dark crumb cake. And I'm just going to turn my layer to make it a little bit easier. Now, I tried this by stamping the branch first and then using a masking for the branch and then stamping the monkey. So that is another way that you could do it also, but then you still have that branch kind of going through his tail. So I'm going to start with the light boho blue. I think I'll make his face darker with the dark boho. And we could add some shading on his body, which we might do. And then we're going to come back with the dark. So if we wanted to, you know, we could shade a little bit over here. All right. So we're going to come back with the light and just blend that body in a little bit. Then I'm going to bring in our boho blue. Before I do that, let me go ahead and bring in that scrap since we're working on our blends. And I'll bring in our dark daffodil. And again, just going to go right over that line. Come back with our light. And then I'm going to bring in our punch. And hopefully I won't lose this before we need it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place this right in here. Now if you're using a scrap of paper that you can't quite reach in here, you can. So for an example, because I'm going to be wasting this paper. So let me cut that off and grab a sticky note and then I can place it, and then I'm not wasting so much of my basic white. There we go. Okay, so there's our banana for later. And now we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Just swinging by to say hi. And I'm going to stamp it down here just to make sure that I can get a nice straight image. And I'm going to put down just a little bit, because I'm going to be adding that banana in his hand in just a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and we are going to emboss. Let me get some of these blends out of the way. So I'm bringing our embossing folder back in. And I'm going to place our layer. See, I got just a little bit of ink right here, but you know what? It'll be okay, because we are going to, we can cover that with an embellishment. So I've brought in our large cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to put our embossing folder. I have layer 1, and then our embossing folder, and the folded edge goes in first, and then our plate 4. And then we'll just roll this through, and it might shake a little bit. I apologize. Get this out of the way. And isn't that pretty? I think it really adds, adds to our card. So we're going to bring back our card base, and then we're just going to go ahead and add this, adhere it to our card front. So we will add some adhesive. And we'll line it up. And then we're going to bring in a glue dot for our little banana. And I think I'm getting low on this. And let's see, get my take your pick tool. So I'm going to pick up the glue dot. And I'm going to add our glue dot right on the back, about in the middle of our banana. And just going to put that right here. And then let's bring in, these are our in color dots. And I like to cut the side. I learned that from somebody, but I don't remember who that was. Seem to be all thumbs today. There we go. So you can have all of our 5 in colors. We're going to use the boho blue. As you can see that I've already been making some cards and using these dots. So we're going to pick one up, put one right here. So you have small, medium, and large of the dots. So with this tip here, I'm just sliding it off and then picking it right up. And, you know, I had a smudge. I have to really look to be able to find it, but I can cover that up with that dot. Although now that it was embossed, you could really barely see it. So here is our card today, just swinging by to say hi. Remember, I told you that on this card, we use the masking paper, and we mask the monkey, and then we stamped the branch over it. So my sample card, I did not do that. So my sample card, I did not do any masking on this. So you do see the tail goes over, and if you look close, you can see that the branch goes through the tail. But, you know, I think this is okay. So I don't know that you need to necessarily use the masking paper, but this is without the masking paper, and then this is with the masking paper. So, you know, you can decide, you know, which one that you like the best. So this was just, you know, stamp, 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 punch out the color, and then emboss, and then punch out that banana. This card that we did today, I did show you how to use the masking paper. But again, this is without and this is with. I think they're both just fine. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy card using little monkeys with stamps, ink, and paper. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It helps YouTube to push my videos out to more people. And I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Thank you for watching. Have a great week and have fun shopping from that new Stampin' Up catalog. Bye for now. See you next Tuesday.